Hi, you guys. Deborah Lively here. You know, guys, I'm going by Deborah and not Debbie anymore. Deborah Lively. Um, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. I have not seen you guys in a very long time. Pick up my fan because I get hot here sometimes. So I am here, ready to start talking again. For those of you guys who know me, I was know that I was in Africa in December and January with my family. And when I came back, my mother has been ill for some time, right? So when I came back, my mother passed away a couple weeks after we came back home. So I have literally been sitting, right? Just really sitting and embracing and understanding that, but really secondary to that, when my mother passed, my relationship with the divine changed. And what I wanted to talk about today is, the title of my talk is Amen, which a lot of us say, focus on what you want. And in the course of my relationship changing, or me sitting, and I really say I perfected the art of sitting, because I literally have been sitting for like 7 months, just like sitting, right? I really have not been doing anything but just sitting and trying to not embrace, but just really being molded and changed and grafted in the way that the Most High, has wanted, in ways that I can't even begin to explain, both good and bad. But what I have learned is that God is much different than what we expected, or what we expect and what we know about God. And you can have your own ideas about it, but that's what I've learned, that He is not at all like what I thought. And He has expressed Himself to me on many, many occasions. But the biggest thing that I've got to say that I've learned about the divine, about the Most High, is that He's mysterious. And He does not want, or does not allow us to know everything about Him. He just doesn't. And those of us, if you see in my talk, it's called Amen, but it's really Amen. And if you know anything about Kemetic history, or any knowledge about the Kemites, there was a deity called, Amen, right? And He is the mysterious aspect of the Most High. So, and in having this aspect that's mysterious, part of being a mysterious is not always telling the truth. So we have this high pie in the sky that the divine is, lives in a White House with a white picket fence, and everything is perfect, and there's this straight linear line. And what I have been shown is that is just not the case. God is not like that. He has this mysterious aspect. And in line with having this mysterious aspect, you're not always going to know the truth. And He's not always going to let you know the truth. He's going to allow things to happen. And, and I go back to my mom, some of us say, why do good things happen? Why do bad things happen to good people? And that's part of that mysterious part of the divine. He allows certain things to happen. And a lot of us are going through challenges, and we're trying to figure out, why is this happening to me? We don't know, most of us don't know head from tails about what's going on in the world anymore. But that goes into that goes or speaks to that mysterious part that I'm talking about the divine. That He allows this to happen. And not only does He allow this to happen, we've agreed to it happening. Before you came here, you agreed to whatever your circumstances are, whatever your situation is, you agreed to it. And that feeds in or speaks to that mysterious part of what I'm talking about with the divine. He just lets these things happen because, one, we agreed to it, and ultimately He's hoping that we will get past this mysterious part. We will get past these challenges. We will get past, and I'm just going to flat out call it out, we will get past some of these lies, because that mysterious part of God, sometimes there are lies. In fact, there are a lot of times there are lies. And a lot of people might be shocked about what I'm about to say. The divine has told me lies over the last couple of months. I'm just going to be real with you all. I've been flat out told lies to see what I would do, to see how I would act, to see what my response is. And that happens in our lives, that He allows He'll flat out tell you a lie. At least that mysterious, that amen part of the divine will tell you a lie to see what you do. So in light of that, and like I said, I know that's really hard for a lot of us to understand, or even to think God lies. Yes, he does. That amen aspect of the divine lies. Because I have been lied to over the last couple of months, time after time after time. But ultimately, it's for my good that I would continue to seek, continue to jump over those lying hurdles that I could get to where I need to get to. So, and even what I said earlier too, it's like, why do bad things happen to good people is for you to get over to that hurdle, right? And the other thing, you guys, I want to say is that this place that we're living in, this existence that we're living in, this matrix that we're living in is temporary. You know, you guys have heard as above, so below, right? So when we see people suffering, or we're going through whatever challenges that we're going through, it's because, you know, this existence is so temporary, right? It's so temporary. You know, our existence is probably a third of what's happening in the entire cosmos, right? This human existence may be a third, but the other 2/3 is happening above, right? So we may think this is the end of the world. And then for us, as it relates to Earth, it is the end of the world. But there's 2/3 of things happening in the cosmos, in the spirit world. Earth and this physical existence is so limited. And that's the other thing that has been explained to me. So I say all this to say is, our biggest challenge here is to learn to focus on what we want, because we don't focus on what we want. We focus on something for a few minutes, and then once we get that one thing, we run to focus on something else. Do we not? Have you ever wanted something so bad, and then you get it, and then you have it for a day or a week or a month, and before you know, your mind is off and you're focusing on something else, right? Because what the divine and that mysterious aspect that he's doing, he's showing us that it's not about this physical reality, right? Because you get something physical, and before you know, you're running off to something else, right? Have you ever done that? You want something so bad, you want it so bad, and then you get it, and then you get it, and you're like, okay, what's next, right? We all do that. We all do that. So the key is to learn to focus on what you want. And the other aspect of focusing on what you want is, many of us don't want to focus on what we want, right? We want to focus on what somebody else is doing, right? We have this creative idea, we have this thing that we want to do, and instead of us focusing on it, we will start focusing on the people in our lives instead of narrowing in and focusing on this one thing. Like, you know, one of the things, you guys, I'm getting back to writing. You know, I've always been a writer, and now I'm getting back to my writing, and I've come up with all kinds of excuses as to why I can't write and why I shouldn't write. I don't have enough money, or, you know, the kids need this, or the dog needs that, right? But we don't want to focus. We say we want something, but we don't really want it because we won't focus on it, you know, because it's too hard to focus on it, because creating something takes you taking responsibility for it, right? You have to take responsibility for it, because you have to take responsibility. Okay, what if I put up all this time and all this energy in this one thing and it doesn't pan out? You know, what does that mean for me? You know, what am I gonna do? So then we'll find all these other things to focus on. But really what the divine would like is for us to learn to focus on that one thing, and don't get caught in pushing paper. And when I say pushing paper, I mean just randomly doing things in life, randomly going through life, you know, and not focusing on what you want. And before you know, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years have gone by, and all you've done is push paper, right? You haven't focused on what you really want. So, and I know I'm rambling here, but the thing to remember is, or what I want to say is, the divine is mysterious. He allows certain things to happen. The amen aspect of him, the mysterious aspect of him, will lie to you, will put you in circumstances to help you to move past those hurdles, past those challenges, to get to the Most High, who will tell you the truth. But you're going to have men who will put those mysterious and lying, hurdles in front of you. And it's all the game, you guys. It's all really a game to get you to come back to yourself, to focus on yourself, right? And I am changing the name of my title. And you guys, I'm speaking from my heart. I'm really speaking the truth. I'm changing the title of my YouTube channel to The Queen of Return, because that is how I see myself now. Because these last couple of months have really been just that for me. It's been a process of me returning to myself. And that is really what the divine would like for all of us to do, is to return to ourselves. And once you can return to yourself, then you will know who you are. And then the divine that tells you the truth, the Most High, will present himself. All right. So that's all I wanted to say. I look forward to talking to you guys more and more about these spiritual things, and just a lot that I've learned over the last couple of months, because it's been a lot, you guys. I am just like skimming the top of the pot. But please know that this physical experience that we're having is a third of what's happening in the cosmos. There's 2/3, and there's a lot more going on. All right. And this is very, very temporary. All right. So, ashe, and I will see you guys for the next video.